The third example does have a GCF. The greatest common factor of 5, 5, and 30 is 5. So I need to factor a 5 out of this equation. I'm going to start with a 5 and then a parenthesis. If we divide each of these terms by 5, we'll be writing what's left inside of the parenthesis. 5x squared divided by 5 is a single x squared. Negative 5x divided by 5 is negative 1x, or just minus x. Negative 30 divided by 5 is negative 6. From this point on, when we're trying to factor and find solutions, we're always going to keep this 5 hanging out outside of our parentheses, but we're going to follow the usual method with the terms inside of the parentheses. So what I'm looking for are two numbers that multiply to negative 6 and add to negative 1. Our factors of 6 are 1 and 6, 2 and 3. In this case, I'm looking for two items that multiply to a negative 6. So I know that they have to have opposite signs. If you look back at the b value, we're trying to add to a negative. This tells us that the bigger factor has to be a negative. So I'm going to put negative signs in front of the bigger factors. 1 minus 6 is negative 5. That's not what I'm looking for. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. That's what I'm looking for. The two terms that add to negative 1. So when we write this quadratic in factored form, we keep the 5 and then start the parenthesis. X plus 2. And the second parenthesis will feature x minus 3. You still go about finding solutions the same way. You want the values that make 0 inside of the parenthesis. Instead of plus 2, x would have to equal negative 2 to get 0 in the first parenthesis. Instead of negative 3, x would have to equal positive 3 to get 0 inside of the second parenthesis. Factored form is written on top, solutions on bottom. Negative 2 and 3 are the two values of x that would make 0 in this quadratic. Pause the video and solve the on your own equation, and then unpause it to check your work. There is a GCF for these three terms. The biggest number that will go into 2, 12, and 16 is 2. So I'm going to start with a 2 outside the parenthesis and then factor that 2 out of each term. The first term, when divided by 2, will leave you with x squared. The second term, when divided by 2, will leave you with plus 6x. And the third term divided by 2 will leave you with plus 8. From here, we're looking for two numbers that multiply to 8 and add to 6. Our choices are 1 and 8 or 2 and 4. 2 and 4 will add to 6, so they are the winners. In factored form, our quadratic looks like this. 2 times x plus 2 times x plus 4. To find solutions, we take the values that would make 0 inside the parenthesis. X equals negative 2 and x equals negative 4. Solutions, factored form.